getting the chat thing situated. Boom, there we go. All right, we made it. We made it. We made it. We fucking made it to week 1 of the NFL regular season. We've already got a couple games under our belt, both Thursday night, Friday night. Quick touch on the Friday night. Jordan Love has a sprained MCL, projected to miss anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. Adam Schefter reported Saturday morning. He could return earlier, though. We don't care about that game, though. Don't really care about the early games. The Vikings won. The Bears somehow managed to win by Tennessee just collapsing in on themselves and not being able to produce in the second half. And the Bears' defense does appear to be legit. Their offense looked a little shaky. Caleb Williams, not impressed, but their defense does seem to be legit. They also got bailed out on special teams with a touchdown there. I'm pretty sure that right now Dallas is still stomping the shit out of Cleveland. My parlay is not going to hit there, unfortunately, so I am chasing because I did hit on a win with Mike Evans scoring a touchdown. So we're in chase mode right now. Let's see. Let's get into the Lions news, though. That's what we're here to talk about is the Lions game tonight. Big week 1 matchup at home. The Rams coming to town for a rematch from last season's playoff appearance where if you're a gambling addict, everything hit the over. Matt Stafford went absolutely bananas, carved up our secondary. Puka Nacua went absolutely bananas. We all know, though, we've been talking about how our secondary has been retooled. I'm very excited to see how the possibility of a high-octane passing offense with a very capable quarterback, how well our newly revamped secondary matches up against the, well, let's say, I mean, Cooper Kupp's an elite wide receiver. Puka Nacua is in the lane moving towards being an elite receiver. He had a fantastic rookie year. Can he follow it up with a outstanding sophomore season? Their offensive line is a little bit shaky. We do know that our left guard, our old left guard, Jonah Jackson, went to LA in free agency. He will not be playing guard, though. He will be making his first ever start at center for the LA Rams. That could be a bonus to them because it broke early this morning that DJ Reader, our free agent acquisition, the big fat ass, the big white ass that I like having in the middle of our defense, will be inactive for today's game. He'll miss today's game, still recovering from off-season surgery. Now, that could be a boon for the Rams. Now, we could look at the silver lining of that, and we'll now know that Mekhi Wingu should get plenty of run. And we know that here on this channel, we are all very, very hype about Mekhi Wingu and the potentiality that he has to be an explosive player while being grossly underrated. A late-round steal, as most people are projecting him out to be. I myself am kind of hype about that. So Wingu could have himself a little bit of a nice rookie debut against a regressing LA Rams offensive line. They lost some players in free agency. Jonah Jackson, of course, taking over, learning how to play center. Will he be able to fit in well? The Rams offense does look to be good, though. Still, the Rams offense does still look to be good. Kyren Williams, statistically, they're like 6-1 when Kyren Williams goes over 60 yards rushing. That one loss being to the Rams being to the Lions in the postseason last year. Does our defense take that step forward? Do our linebackers continue to produce? Does Jack Campbell take that big step forward? Are we going to be able to stop the run game and then also allow our secondary to showcase what they should and could be this year? Now, as far as the secondary is concerned, I do need to talk about a couple of inactives on defense I'm a little concerned about. Number one, obviously we said DJ Reader's out. DJ Reader's going to miss the whole game. He's not even active. Boosting Mekhi Wingu and Ali McNeil's ability to play. Maybe get a little bit more rotationary players in. So with DJ Reader being out, we did elevate Kyle Peko and Chris Smith from the practice squad to kind of fill in as a rotationary player. I do like the Kyle Peko maneuver to bring him in. He was kind of a edge guy, not an edge rusher, but a roster position that I thought maybe he could have slipped his way in if some other players hadn't really made an impact on the coaching staff. That player being, it was just announced, James Houston. Big surprise, everybody. James Houston is going to be inactive for this game. Not that his presence would really matter much. He is grossly overrated from a very small sample size his rookie year. Got hurt and has continued to descend in the offseason. I don't think James Houston is what he once was. I think he's a shell of what he was, and even that wasn't really that great. So James Houston is out. Nowitzki, the linebacker, who is projected to be a special teams contributor, kind of a Malcolm Rodriguez style linebacker. He has also been ruled out. Wide receiver room, though, we did get a bump up. Tom Kennedy will be active, so we got a little TK85 magic going on for the Motor City to have a big opening night, a big hometown opening night. Ford Field's going to be fucking rocking, guys. Ford Field is going to be absolutely fucking bananas tonight, y'all. I can't wait. So Tom Kennedy's elevated, Chris Smith's elevated, Kyle Paco's been elevated. We are running a little short, though, a little light in the pants in the safety room. Lawrence Strickland is out, and Ife Melifonwu will also not be active. So we'll only be running with 3 safeties. We'll only be having both Kirby and Brandon Joseph, and then BB Brian Branch, who could play anywhere on the field. We know that I've talked about it many times that Aaron Glenn likes these this toolbox style of defense, and he's even admitted in interviews, I believe it was Friday or Thursday afternoon, Aaron Glenn talked about how Brian Branch is one of those guys that you can basically just let him decide where he wants to be on the field. So if that's going to be in the nickel, if that's going to be in the dime, that means that we're going to have to rotate in another safety. So we're going to see a little bit more Brendan Joseph run, knowing that Ife Melifonwu was out, and then we're going to be even lighter with Lawrence Strickland being out as well. So hey, I appreciate all you guys hanging out. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash like if you enjoy what we do here. It really helps the algorithm kind of push this out, and I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me on a Sunday night leading into the Lions' big Week 1 matchup against the LA Rams. I am so hyped about it. We are also going to be running a little bit light at the offensive line reserve spot. Okay, so the 5 starters are going to be locked in, ready to rock and roll. You're going to have your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper be your swing tackle to come in and alleviate, maybe play in the jumbo spot. But both Giovanni Manu, see, I didn't say Manu Ginobili. I said Giovanni Manu and Colby Solersdahl are both inactive. I don't like having 2 rotationary players like that be inactive, especially because Colby Solersdahl, we've seen in the offseason he really put on a lot of bulk and mass, not necessarily fat, but he really took a physical step forward. Did it translate well on the field? Not so great in the preseason, but you still like to have a little bit of depth there. God willing, or God forbid something happens to, Taylor Decker, or fuck me in the ass if Penei Sewell goes down, right? Then you're relying on just your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper and basically nobody else after that. You also know Colby Solersdahl can rotate in and play a little bit of interior offensive line and kind of boost the guard play there a little bit, running a little bit light in the pants all across the offensive line, and then the secondary room. The safety room, not necessarily the secondary room. We do have a plethora of corners, and I'm pretty sure that Terry and Arnold in a pinch can rotate into the safety spot. I think he played a little bit of that at Alabama. I do expect Terry and Arnold to have a monster splash night. Okay? I'm hoping that Terry and Arnold has 5 tackles and a couple of picks. A couple picks. I think Matt Stafford is going to try and pick on Terry and Arnold, right? Because he has Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on Carlton Davis to lock down and not allow Cooper Kupp to do Cooper Kupp things. Okay, so if Carlton Davis can lock down and really glue himself on to Cooper Kupp, allow the rotation, your Amik Robertson, your Terry and Arnold, your Enos Rakestraw Juniors with a little bit of help over top from the safeties of the Brian Branch, try and push down and really suppress Puka Nacua's ability to play ball. I think Terry and Arnold is that guy. There's a reason why he was considered to be the best corner in the draft. I mean, it was like a 1-1A between him and Quinyon Mitchell. We've seen Quinyon Mitchell Friday night play his fucking balls off against the Green Bay Packers and play really, really, really well. So, does Terry and Arnold play up and live up to that hype? I think so. I think Terry and Arnold, with a little bit of safety help, a little bit of Kirby Joseph, a little bit of Brian Branch, can help break down and keep Puka Nacua from going absolutely bananas like he did in his rookie year. Also, we can try to hope that Puka Nacua narrative, that sophomore slump narrative kind of hits him right tonight. You know what I'm saying? Ford Field's going to be bananas. Kelly Stafford didn't even show up because she's all butthurt that the Lions fandom doesn't like her. Well, you know what, bitch? Fuck you. You, your husband, and your goofy white teeth can go fuck off right back to LA, right? I'm expecting to have a big night out of Terry and Arnold. I would love to see Terry and Arnold just come in and make a couple of big splash plays. Maybe some nice tackles, an INT, maybe even 2. I'm not expecting, a pick 6, but dude, wouldn't that be great if, like, Terry and Arnold came in and made an impact on the defense in the same capacity that Aiden Hutchinson came in and made an impact his rookie year on the defense. Just big splash plays. And I'm hoping, again, to see, this is my big question of the night. How many sacks does Aiden Hutchinson get solo, and how many sacks does our defense get as a team, okay? So I'll give you the chat a second to go ahead and think about that. Myself, I've already made the declaration that if things go well this year, Aiden Hutchinson has the potential not only to win Defensive Player of the Year, but I think he has the ability to hit a 24-sack season and set the all-time single-season sack record. That starts tonight with 3 sacks on John Matthew Stafford. I think Aiden Hutchinson comes out. He's had an amazing offseason. All right, he's had an amazing offseason. He's reached out to guys like J.J. Watt for a little bit of insight and information. The coaching staff has talked about how that he looks phenomenal in camp. You know what I'm saying? I think Aiden Hutchinson comes in and just goes absolutely bananas. He's got Ford Field behind him. There's all this hype and energy behind the Lions. As much as I talk about the media isn't really behind us, Vegas has a lot of numbers behind us, right? If you look at the Vegas odds, it's really in Detroit's favor. So, Hutch comes out, that energy's behind him. He gets a little bit more support from the step forward that Ali McNeil's going to take. Marcus Davenport, maybe somebody on the edge comes in, compliments him just a little bit, gives a little bit of a step up, so that all those pressures that we've seen all season long by Aiden Hutchinson turn into sacks, if not throws off platform by John Matthew Stafford, because we know that Matt Stafford tends to get a little bit of happy feet. I've said this before. Watch Matt Stafford's feet. Once his feet start chopping in the pocket, he's going to make a bad decision. And I hope that now we have the talent at the corner spot to not allow mistakes to be taken advantage of by Matt Stafford, but then also for our defense, our secondary, our corners to be able to take advantage of mistakes made by the quarterback from pressure by Aiden Hutchinson. Do I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a game wrecker today? Aiden Hutchinson and Terry and Arnold are going to have phenomenal complementary games, okay? A 3-sack game by Aiden Hutchinson, a 6-sack game by the Detroit Lions in total, right? So I'm talking Hutch gets 3, and then you see Ali McNeil get 1, Mekhi Wingu get 1, and then you see a blitz from like a Derek Barnes or an Alex Anzalone. Or, if you recall, late in the season last year, Aaron Glenn had a lot of success sending Ife Melifonwu off the edge. We know Ife Melifonwu is not active for this game, but Brendan Joseph has the ability to be that guy. He's the same build as Ife Melifonwu. He's probably just as athletic, maybe a few pounds lighter, maybe not as strong, but I've seen athleticism out of the guy in the preseason. So does Brian Branch become that screaming guy off the edge? How many TFLs does Brian Branch have if he's playing in that nickel spot, in that slot corner spot, and he's going to blitz off the edge because Aaron Glenn just decided to go absolutely bananas? So that's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking to have 6-sack performance, 2 to 3 takeaways by the Detroit Lions defense. The over-under is, I think, 53.5. Let me just make sure I've got everything covered that I wanted to talk about. So we talked about DJ Reader, right? DJ Reader's out, and we're expecting Mekhi Wingu to have himself a big night. Smash like if you agree. We've talked about how the safeties are going to be running a little light in the pants. We only have 3 active safeties. We know that Brian Branch is going to be in a rotationary role. Kirby Joseph's going to be allowed to kind of lurk back there in a zone cover, you know what I'm saying? Be able to make plays because we're going to have gluey, sticky secondary corners that are be able to stick on their man and not rely on safety over the top help as much as we did last season. No more Cameron Sutton getting burned by the first step on an outside fade, right? So our safeties are going to run a little light, but we like where we're at with the corner room. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. The Vegas run game numbers, right? So last I checked, it's got David Montgomery over under 53.5 and Ja Gibbs at like over under 56.3.5. So Vegas is calling for a hardline split on the run game. I don't see it that way. You guys know that I have been really hung up on the hamstring of Jahmyr Gibbs. And this could bite me in the ass because I'm really, really high on David Montgomery this week. I am so high on David Montgomery being the lead back, taking over the game early, putting away the game late. I'm saying David Montgomery is going to have more than 50 yards. I think David Montgomery is going to have 100 yards on the ground today. I expect to see a reduced role this game for Jahmyr Gibbs. A couple plays, keep him on a pitch count. Why risk it, Biscuit, if you don't need him and you've got Sione Vaki, Craig Reynolds, David Montgomery, this stable of running backs that are able to come in and play, be productive when they play behind the league's number one offensive line with the best tackle in the league and the best center in the NFL with Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow. Why risk Jahmyr Gibbs coming in and aggravating the hamstring? Then you take what was a ascending player on the fast track to being healthy, ready to go week 2, week 3, to now you've hindered him for the next 6 weeks because hamstring injuries are that nagging injury that just tends to stick with players throughout the whole season. We see it happen time and time again in the fantasy realm where guys who were projected to have big seasons end up having a hamstring injury early on in preseason. Their production absolutely tanks that year. Then you're able to scoop them up later in the back half of the year if people are getting itchy for trades and they're not happy with the production. But there's a little bit of ability there. I'm just saying, I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have the night that we all want him tonight, that we all know he's capable of, simply because I think the coaching staff is going to want to protect their asset a little bit more. David Montgomery is going to have himself a big night on the ground. My opinion, 100 yards on the ground, a touchdown, potentially 2. Smash like if you agree. The other offensive weapon that I see going off tonight is the hot name that everybody's expecting to have a breakout season this year, and that's Waymo himself, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not saying Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a 100-yard night, 10 catches, 100 yards, touchdown or 2. I am saying J-Mo's going to have 39 to 50 receiving yards, a touchdown on like a 35-yard touchdown strike, and maybe some 20 to 40 yards of rushing production on a breakout end around, because Jamison Williams is that hyper-athletic individual that we need to get the ball into his hands almost at any means necessary, although there are plenty of mouths to feed. Statistically speaking, Amon-Ra St. Brown at home regularly has 9+ catches in a game. I think Amon-Ra goes for 8 catches, pushes 100 yards. I don't think Amon-Ra gets the touchdown. I see Jared Goff throwing a couple of touchdowns, one to Waymo, and I think you see a lack of production as far as yards and statistics is concerned for Sam Laporta. But for you fantasy junkies, he bails his night out with a touchdown. I expect our defense to go bananas. And what I'm really seeing tonight is the Lions hitting plus 30 and keeping the Rams to sub 20 points. I know that sounds crazy because they're both playoff teams and blah, 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 and Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua and Cooper fucking Kupp, and blow it out your ass, dude. I don't give a shit about Matt Stafford or his goofy fucking white teeth. I think our defense has taken that step forward, and we're going to be able to put points up on a falling apart LA Rams defense. Yeah, Tre'Davious White, you have the shell of a former good player as your number one corner, and you have undrafted rookie free agents playing at the rest of your corner spots, right? So essentially, it's the Kendall Vildor situation all over again, right? It's for the Rams, not us. So I think that and their lead tackler, their green dot play caller, the linebacker, I can't remember his name, but he's out this game. Not able to practice. He wasn't up to par. I don't know if it's a healthy scratch or if he sustained an injury in camp. Not an LA Rams fan. Don't give a shit. Aaron Donald retired. They're starting Jordan Fisk, who, although meets the physical build and archetype of an Aaron Donald, is still a rookie. He's going to get bullied by Kevin Zeitler and Frank Ragnow and Graham Glasgow. He's going to get pushed around. He's going to get smashed. He's going to be manhandled. I don't think the Rams defense is what they were last year. I think the Rams defense takes an enormous step back, and I think the Lions offense just steamrolls the LA Rams early and often. I think we come out opening drive, we do some Ben Johnson bananas nonsense where we just go 14 plays for like 12 minutes. Not 12 minutes. 14 plays, a good 8 to 9 minutes off the clock. Opening the game real slow, real methodic, real physical. Short plays, Amon-Ra. Short plays, J-Mo trying to bust him on a bubble screen. You got David Montgomery just pounding the rock, being real physical. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd like to see out of tonight's performance. So big sacks, big takeaways by the secondary. Secondary taking that big step. You know the crowd's going to go bananas the first time Terry and Arnold makes any play at all, right? Any play at all. a tackle, a tip pass. God help them when Terry Arnold picks off Matt Stafford. God help the Rams when Terry Arnold jumps up in there and just snatches it out the air for runs it back for a pick six. God help him when Hutch gets home on the Rams' first offensive possession, and Hutch just comes out of absolutely nowhere and just smokes Matt Stafford, dude. Because between you, me, and the wall, man, fuck Matt Stafford, yo. I'm so over Matt Stafford. I'm good, man. I'm good on Stafford. There's no love here for me and Matt Stafford. He's my enemy today. Fuck the Rams. I want to see absolute domination from kickoff to final whistle by the Detroit Lions. Come out here, show the world on prime time that last season wasn't a fluke, that we are for real. Really, really, really show all of us what we've been feeling, that step in defense, that step on defense, that big step forward so that our defense now matches the talent level and the production of the offense so we can play complementary football. Look for the Ballad of Jake Bates. I want to see Jake Bates go out there and nail like a 55-yard field goal. Just split the uprights right down the middle. Keep the Ballad of Jake Bates going. Keep Jared Goff safe. Don't aggravate Jahmyr Gibbs' hamstring. Let J-Mo go absolutely bananas. Pound the rock with David Montgomery and play tough, gritty defense. It's pretty simple, folks. It's pretty simple. There, I just laid it out for you. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. You're overcomplicating it. You're thinking too much. Pound the rock, dude. David Montgomery. It's not complicated. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Look for the Lions to win the big plus 30 on offense and keeping the Rams to a sub 20-point game. So, what do you guys think? What do you think down below? DJ, good strat? Good start? Yeah, good start. I like the good. I guess you're saying start. I'm looking for a big, good start by the Lions. Big, heavy hitting start. We'll stick around if you guys want for a couple more minutes. If you want to hit some live chats. Strategy. Yes. What strategy? My guy. Like, it's pretty simple, dude. Play smart football. You know what I'm saying? Like, play smart, sound, fundamental football. Don't turn the ball over. Convert first downs. There's no need. There's no need for our offense to go and get into a track meet. I'm going to look for the game. 5 old retired nurses wearing Lions gear. Go Lions! Hell yeah! Hell yeah to the nurse brigade up there. Let's go. There's no need for us to get into a track meet with the LA Rams. There's absolutely no reason for us to get into a track meet at all. Just play smart, sound, fundamental football. Let Ben Johnson. We all know now that we can trust Ben Johnson. The players know that they can trust Ben Johnson. Let Ben Johnson do his thing on offense, man. We know that we might come out, and obviously there's a good chance that we might come out to a slow start. Sophomores Brian Branch will go up. Dude, yes, I think Brian Branch, if I'm being honest, the ceiling for Brian Branch this year, first team All-Pro. Easily. First team All-Pro. The floor for Brian Branch, I think, is a Pro Bowl. I think Brian Branch is one of the most talented defensive players, one of the most skillful, physically gifted, talented, and cerebral players in the entire NFL. And when you put that combination together, you get a Troy Polamalu. Yeah, I said it. I compared Brian Branch to Troy Polamalu. Prove me wrong, right? He's out here playing bananas, dude. We'll give it a couple more minutes here, guys, and then I got to eat my lunch. We are at work on a Sunday night, so we'll wrap up here soon, take some chats from you guys. But then I got to clean up real quick so that I can find some work to do by kickoff. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are everybody having a good Sunday. If we enjoyed football being back, it was nice. I was able to watch a little bit of ball before the game, or before I had to go to work. Love the show and the takes. Thank you, dude. Joseph DePace. I appreciate you being here, my guy. I don't know if you're subscribed already. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here, my dude. We love interacting with you guys. We've been doing a little bit more of a live stream recently, my dude. It's a little bit more fun. And hopefully once either work stabilizes or I find a more stable working schedule where it's not so up in the air and hectic all the time, I would like to do like a daily, regularly live stream show with a hard schedule. You know what I'm saying? This setup, this whole lunchroom, break room setup, not really my bag, dude. I don't like it. It sounds like hell. You guys can hear the air conditioning. Oh my goodness. Holy shit, fellers. Why didn't you tell me my armpit sprung a leak, dude? This could be a big factor. Defense. Whoops, my bad. Let's try and find. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Chicago games. Yeah, so my takeaway from the Chicago game was something that you just touched on, Lou Bega, and it was something that my JV football coach from 20 years ago used to say all the time, right? Special teams has to be special. And I think that we do have a really good special teams unit, right? I think we have weapons that can return the ball. Is Isaiah Williams going to be running the returning punts? And then obviously we have the best relocation specialist in the entire NFL, Jack Fox. He's the best punter in the league, and you pair him with somebody who has the potential to be a very, very good kicker for several years in Jake Bates. I think our special teams unit comes out, executes. Jake Bates hits every extra point, and then give me a field goal or two out of Jake Bates. I'd really like to see Jake Bates. Big fan, Michigan Panthers guy. That's why I kind of glazed Breedlin last video or a couple videos ago about bringing him in as a defensive end. But, that's probably not going to happen. I'm just too much of a UFL super fan. What do you guys think the score is going to be? Do you think we go plus 30 on the Rams? Do you think we hang 30 or more points on the Rams defense and keep them under 20? Am I ridiculous for thinking that? I really think our defense is just going to fucking just kick the shit out of LA, man. I really think our defensive front is just going to kick the ever-living shit out of the LA Rams offensive line, man. I think Matt Stafford's going to leave a very bruised, broken, and sore individual. I'm pretty sure he's going to be hurting from the licks he's going to be taking. I think our defensive line just comes out. Our defensive line coach is the biggest acquisition for the Detroit Lions all offseason. Over Carlton Davis, over DJ Reader, arguably maybe even over Terry and Arnold, right? Like bringing in, Terrence Williams is just going to unlock every single 20-7 Lions. Lou Bega going 27 Lions. Okay, that's fair, man. Hey, so you're taking the under. You take I think it's a 53.5 point under or something like that. You're going to take the under. Probably not a bad decision. If we think about all the games we've seen so far today, obviously everybody not quite the sharpest that they need to be offensively. Production down a little bit. I'm getting tired of watching those stupid fucking kickoffs, though, fellas. And I was kind of thinking, when they first introduced the kickoff rules, I was kind of thinking that it would lead to a little bit more offense with the shortened field. But I have noticed that the refs are kind of letting defenses play a little bit more. They're kind of letting them just come out and play a little bit fast and loose. And I have noticed a little bit of a cleanup on the illegal formations. I don't know if the league is being a little bit more lenient on that, or if coaching staff has really just snapped players into position, really cracked the whip on them. Like, hey boys, they're calling it real tight, so we need to be real tight on it. But I do feel like at least so far this week, at least in the Sunday games that I was able to see a little bit of, I feel like defenses have been able to play a little bit more physical, which as an old school football fan, I like watching physical football. I don't think I've seen any hip drop penalty flags thrown, at least in the I got to watch the Bears game, and then not all the Bears game, and then I got to watch sporadically a little bit of the Cowboys game. But once I realized that CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson were going to get a touchdown and my fucking parlay wasn't going to hit, I was like, yo, I'm out. Beantown Brit, dude, what's up, brother? Yo, good to see you, my man. How about them Pats, dude? How about Jacoby Brisket, my guy? Yo, the Pats are back, dude. For real. You guys look good, man. For real, the Pats look good, dude. Your wide receiver core, although young, looked very productive, especially with Jacoby Brissett slinging the rock around, dude. I know the Bengals are kind of down this year, and they're not really where they should be. But I think the Patriots are better than where a lot of people were thinking they were going to be, at least in week one, dude. I kept flipping back because I had the Pats game, the Pats Bengals game, and the Bears Titans game in my area. They look good. Lots of problems. Yeah, dude, their defense looks sick, dude. They're young. Their defense did look real, real good. That Christian Gonzalez cat, he is good, dude. That Christian Gonzalez guy, he is good, man. Your corner. It sucks that he missed all of his, the majority of his rookie season. But that kid's going to be something special, dude. And Gerard Mayo has either built a really good coaching staff or just knows exactly the Bill Belichick way of doing things, man. I was very impressed with what I seen out of the New England Patriots today, man. For real. For real. I was actually impressed with just how well they executed everything. And also, I didn't realize you guys had every washed up old tight end ever, dude. He was the one with Chase Hogan. Okay, gotcha. That's what I figured because he's the number one. Well, did they keep Chase on a pitch count? That wasn't the game I was watching. I kept flipping back and forth, dude. So like I didn't know really what was going on there, but I just know that the Bengals kind of just, at least every time I was watching, the Bengals just looked like ass. Every time I'd flip back, the Bengals looked like ass, dude, for real. Gonzo up 60 yards and 0 T. Damn, that's all, huh? There you go. Against Jamar Chase. Those are fucking elite numbers against an elite wide receiver, right? Because the Bengals were like, oh, Jamar Chase is out. He's sick. And Jamar Chase is like, no, I'm fine, right? Like, he's fine. So that was a bunch of smoke and mirrors, right? So let's be honest. Gonzalez got a healthy, probably 100% ready to go Jamar Chase, and he shut him down, dude. Like, that, what more do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, what more do you expect out of a guy? First round pick, missed his entire rookie year. Clearly, he spent time in the film room, in the weight room, figuring out, because he looked a little bigger. He looked a little bigger on the field than he did, like at least in the college film. He looked like he had more mass. You know what I'm saying? Which you love to see. You know what I mean? So obviously, he realized that his durability was an issue, so he put on a little bit of bulk so he could, withstand the NFL. And it paid. I mean, look, 60 yards and 0 TDs against Jamar Chase, dude. That's pretty damn good, man. That's pretty good, Ryan Allen. What's up? Lions will be the most successful Michigan football team this year. Yeah, dude, they probably will, Ryan. Shout out Ryan Allen. Yo, appreciate you hanging out, man. I agree because Michigan got their fucking shit pushed in yesterday by Texas. That was not fun to watch if you're a Michigan fan, dude. That was rough goings. Texas looked like a top tier. I mean, they're a top tier team, man, and they really showcased rolling into the big house and just beating the fucking brakes off of Michigan, dude. So we'll give it maybe a couple minutes here, fellas, but again, I'm cutting it close on the lunchtime. So I appreciate you guys all hanging out. Hopefully you guys are all ready to go to watch the game. Do any and all. Chase said he would toast Gonzo 2 days ago, and Gonzo took it personally. He wanted to shout. That's awesome, dude. See, that's what's up about Gerard Mayo. He goes, all right, kid, you want to do it? Go do it. And he did it. You know what I'm saying? Put the pressure on him, told him to put on his big boy shitting pants, and he put on his big boy shitting pants. That's the way to go, dude. That's the way to go. So, all right, guys, make sure that you've done all your pregame rituals. We're pretty superstitious around here. Get locked in, ready to rock and roll. Hopefully you got any beverages, food, substances that you need for altering your mind while you chill and watch the game. Make sure you get loud, dude, because Motor City represents from the entire country, dude. Motor City represents, no matter if you're in the field or at home, the Motor City represents, you got to get loud. So, boys, I appreciate you hanging out on a Sunday night pregame. Let's get after it. Let's start the week off. Let's start the season off with a big win for the Detroit Lions. Let's go, boys. That's going to be it for me. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay out of trouble. Keep your stick on the ice. If she doesn't find you handsome, at least she'll find you handy. That's going to be it for me. Frig off. Banga banga.